Okay, now it's... Hi there.
Hello, this is Ina Mohan. Welcome to my kitchen. It's Ina's Ross on Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, live from Las Vegas. I'm back in my kitchen, at least for a couple minutes. Not much time left to Sedona, but I want to show you something that is really, really useful today that you can do anytime when you're going on an exciting trip. Like I'm going to head to Sedona in just a few days, because we are literally just 5 days away from the soul connection in Sedona right now. A little bit more about that in a minute. But what do you do if you have a whole fridge full of living produce and obviously spoilable items, maybe some organic broccoli and cucumbers and stuff, and you're going on a trip? So one of the better things to do is to freeze your produce. And I will tell you today how to prepare things so that they freeze easily, that you can just take them out of your freezer afterwards and eat them pretty much right away. Ready? Because there's a couple of little know-hows attached to that. Now I have some organic zucchini here. Ideally what I would want to do is to cut this into at least a little bit smaller chunks and then put them in a bag. Or better, if you really want to just cook the zucchini right after unfreezing it afterwards, blanch it for a minute. What does blanching mean? Blanching is something that you do on your stove, and you're boiling it, you are just simmering water ever so lightly with your product in it, and then just after the first simmer, it just bubbles up very, very quickly, and then you're taking it off the stove. You are rinsing it, you are basically flushing it with cold water or ice water afterwards, because the idea of blanching, which comes from the French kitchen terms, to blanche, to whiten, is in essence only useful to just literally close the pores so that you can do something with the good, like freeze it or use it later in this in your life, and you keep the juiciness intact. You don't want to cook the thing right now. You just want to close the pores so you can go in the freezer or be prepped maybe from for doing preservatives and things like that. Now I do something different. I don't really blanch. I love to steam. I have a steamer here. This is my pot, so you're just going to put a little bit of water in the bottom, and then you put your steamer and put it on high or medium heat. Put your raw cut vegetables in there, and they will then be processed literally or steamed just in the water vapor. You can do this obviously with good water. You can spice the water a little bit if you want to give it a little bit of flavor right away. But as soon as you have the water vapor, just lightly blanch your vegetables, because it's basically the same process, and it's much more light and much more tender and gentle, because you are still keeping all your good nutrients and your enzymes, etc. alive when you steam it very, very shortly, and then shock it again in cold water like ice water, so that it's not continuing to cook or continuing to process, and then dry it really well and you're ready to put it in. But that's really just preparing your vegetables. And now here's my favorite thing as to how you're going to actually put them in the freezer. I have a freezer bag right here, and I'm going to open that up, and we're using some broccoli that I have been blanching. Actually, I have been steaming this broccoli earlier today, and what's really, really cool about that, it gets this really strong green color. I highly suggest you steam anything that is a little bit hard, such as your cruciferous, your brassicas, your kale, things like that. Steam really, really well, and you don't lose nutrients much. Or if you're not sure if you're doing, then just grab the good cooking water or the boiling water underneath in the pot and do something nice with that. I never throw out cooking water. I usually put it in the freezer as well to make a broth or a sauce or something the next time around. Here we have this insanely delicious freshly steamed broccoli.
Say hi to our friends. There are quite a few of our friends.
Hello. I'm going to put this in a freezer bag here. Try not to spoil it like me. There we go. And then try to flatten it as much as possible. Ideally, your produce should be dry. If you can, just let it out on a towel to dry a little bit so that it's not soaking wet anymore, because wet water means water crystals in your freezer bag. That's precisely what we don't want. We don't want any extra water and liquid around it, because that's what crystallizes in the freezer. Now here comes my trick.
And it may also lead to molding, right?
Well, it can lead to mold as well. It doesn't really happen in the freezer, because the freezer basically shocks and stalls any growth and any further development, which is why we're doing the freezing, because it can't really continue to develop. It does not continue to perish or spoil. That's why you do the freezing. Here's my favorite part. I have a big fat straw. This is actually a little rubber straw, and I reuse it over and over. Now you have that bag, and we have pretty much taken up the water, but the other thing you want to take out is the air, because air pockets lend themselves to having a lot of water crystals created as well. And the more vacuum you can make your frozen goods, the better they sustain themselves. So here, put that straw into your bag, close it all the way to the straw, and then you suck the air out of the bag. Now you can get a little bit high on that, so make sure that you are very, very careful. Do not do this too often. Did you see? Did you see how this bag is just sucking all the air out? Let me do that again. So you want to suck that air out. Remove your straw. Close the zipper. Don't do it more than 3 times, otherwise you get a little nebulous possibly. But it's actually really nice, and it's just air, nothing is in there. So now you have pretty much a vacuum pack, and now you can first of all easily flatten that, put it in your freezer. It will probably hold a couple of weeks at least. I do suggest probably put the date on here. See, these freezer bags have a little thing where you can put the date and what it is, particularly if your good is already processed. With this zucchini, you can literally do the same thing, just like I did it right now. Grab a freezer bag, keep a hole in it, use any straw. I have this little rubber straw, but you can use any straw you want. Keep a hole just the size of your straw. Let me show you it again, because it's so much fun. You can put anything in that bag. There you go. And then you gotta really close it fast before the air is coming back. Yeah. There you go. See how that goes? My cigarette. I'm not smoking. Awesome. So this is now ready for the freezer. So let's put that in. Okay. That's what I'm going to do with all the produce in the house, because we are taking off to Sedona. Yes. It's just now 3 days to go. And Thursday we're going to make our way over to this little thing here. It's the Soul Connection, the very first ever Health, Healing and Happiness, the Soul Connection. And if you happen to be in Las Vegas tonight, by the way, I'm meeting with all the fabulous Las Vegas-based speakers at 7 p.m. at Panacea in Boca Park. And we're going to do a little bit of a teaser with each of these fabulous people that tell you what you can expect from their talk tonight. We'll have some really special ticket deals at Panacea tonight. So if you are out and about, or if you're local, come on by 7 p.m. tonight to Panacea. This obviously is timely. This is only happening today on October 16, in case you're watching us later. We'll have some deals, baby. And by the way, if you cannot come to Sedona, which of course is the best way to experience an event like that, there is a live stream ticket available too. Isn't that cool? So we've never done a live stream of any of our events before, but I thought it's too precious and the information shared is too valuable to just let that poof, get over it within a weekend. So you can get your live stream ticket and watch 2 full days from Sedona with all of the speakers, every single session. And the best is you're gonna have a 4 weeks on-demand replay afterwards too. So that is something, right? Grab a bunch of friends, get yourself comfortable, and with a good smoothie, a glass of wine, whatever, and take it in. No matter where you are in the world, you can still be with us in Sedona. Nice? Alrighty, I'm gonna have to go now to meet my friends, the beautiful speakers. Hope to see you there in Sedona with us or on live. And if not, next week, Monday, 6 p.m. PST, Ines Rosa Mondays at this channel. Take care.